Hello, Dr. Charles Handler here, coming at you with another awesome vlog. Today's edition is a companion piece to the LinkedIn article I wrote about 3 weeks ago called Prompt Engineering is Dead. Long live prompt engineering and people skills. And my point today is to take us on a little journey, a collage, if you will, of web pages and videos and fun stuff like that, to prove my point that prompt engineering is becoming something that's increasingly automated, putting more and more importance on the human element that we humans bring to the table, that hopefully will not be replaced by machines anytime soon. So, without further ado, let's take a little journey here. Chapter 1, we're going to talk about where we are now with generative AI, right? What's the present place that we're living, and how does that relate to where we're going? So first thing I want to share is my take on how I feel about AI. I feel like AI is like a roller coaster, right? You get in the roller coaster, the bar comes down, and guess what? You are locked in. You cannot get out. There is no going back. You go up the hill, your heart is racing. You know that there's a thrill waiting for you on the other side, but it's also pretty dangerous, right? You can't help but think, I might die. This might not end well. And that's how I feel about AI. We're locked in. We're not going back. It's a thrill ride. Get with the program. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty hard for you. And how I got started on this whole take about prompt engineering being dead was this awesome tweet by Logan GPT. He's an employee of OpenAI. And he basically says exactly what I'm saying here, right? Human skills are where it's going to be at. This is a guy who's actually building ChatGPT, and this is what he feels. So I don't know. He's a lot smarter than me, and I feel like he's making a pretty good point here, right? And right now, I say the most common, or the thing that really struck me the most when generative AI hit the scene was the fact that the thing can actually code for you, right? I think coders, programmers, developers have had a romance with this thing because it's made their life so much easier. Oh, and by the way, as I show my visual aids here today, I think we're going to also prove the point that generative AI is not quite ready for prime time to be used in an unsupervised way. You could see here, DALL-E, anybody who's played around with DALL-E knows that it cannot actually get the words right. Look at this goofiness here, right? It just proves the point. This stuff is not ready to be unleashed without any kind of oversight or any kind of work that you do, right? And so another use case. So as I do these things, I'm going to show kind of interesting little gadgets and widgets that I've been using. I've been playing around with text to video. I think it's a really important part of the future of all this stuff. And I made some little companion videos to go with the vlog today. And they mostly focus around an application of interviewing and how AI is going to be used in interviewing. So there's a loose thread of that coming through. Just wanted to keep it kind of relevant to the stuff that we all work with. So without further ado, let's watch this first goofy video that I made.
Imagine, if you will, a world where artificial intelligence, ever evolving and improving, has taken the reins of prompt engineering. An intriguing thought, isn't it? The creation and manipulation of prompts, once a human endeavor, now lies in the cold, capable hands of machines. Now, delve with us into this potential future, using the employment interview as our guide. Consider the process of hiring for a prompt engineer, a role that may soon become a relic of the past. In our current time, anyone, regardless of their familiarity with the intricate art of prompt engineering, can harness the power of generative AI to streamline this process. Suppose you need to write a job description for a prompt engineer. A daunting task for the uninitiated, perhaps. But with AI, this becomes a breeze. The AI synthesizes years of accumulated data and generates a comprehensive job description. It outlines the responsibilities, from designing and developing prompts to testing and refining them for optimal results. Next, the AI produces a list of knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics, or KSAOs, crucial for success in this role. It doesn't just regurgitate a generic list. Instead, it tailors the KSAOs based on the specific requirements of the role. For a prompt engineer, it may highlight the need for strong analytical skills, an understanding of AI functionalities, and a knack for creative problem solving. Now the AI takes these inputs and crafts a set of structured behavioral interview questions, complete with rating scales. Each question is designed to assess the candidate's proficiency in a particular KSAO, and the rating scale provides a standardized measure of their performance. It's not just about asking the right questions. It's about understanding the nuances of human responses, gauging potential, and predicting future performance. And AI, with its rapidly developing capabilities, can do this with remarkable precision.
Pretty snazzy, huh? Yep, I wrote that video with basically one prompt and I didn't edit it. Pretty interesting, right? But the point is, we can do exactly what the video is talking about right now. Anybody can walk right up to a ChatGPT window and create interview questions, create scoring guides, create job descriptions. It's all accessible to us now. It's pretty incredible, right? So we're in a place right now that's miraculous. But where are we going from that, right? Like, where, at what point is the idea that, more complex stuff that I'll talk about now isn't even going to need prompt engineers, right? So there's some pretty good takes on this stuff as well. I'm going to show you an article here. I like Medium a lot. It has some really good articles. And of course, I can't read this whole article, but essentially what we're talking about here is the idea that prompt engineering is even becoming more democratized, right? You can actually have ChatGPT write prompts for you. And he goes through some stuff here about how that would work, right? Again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you can see there's even some good examples here. So again, I'll put my email address in the comments when I post this, and you can email me or DM me on LinkedIn, and we'll be able to get you some of these links so you can check them out yourself in your own time. Chapter 2. What we're talking about here is really an evolution, right? We are talking about it getting easier and easier for us to do things that would have previously required some prompt engineering. And I heard a really, really good, or I read a really, really good article the other day, and it was about the release of ChatGPT 5. And it was saying that some people at OpenAI are saying, hey, the world's not going to be ready for this. We're afraid to release ChatGPT 5 because it just might shock people and be too scary and all that. It's probably hyperbole, there's so much hype around this stuff. But what we're seeing, kind of makes me think that maybe they're onto something, because every couple of months we're seeing new features released, new ways that we can utilize ChatGPT without any prompt engineering, right? A really, really good example of that is the GPT store, right? The GPT store is about 6 months old now at the most, and what it involves is the ability for anybody to put together some prompts and throw up basically an opportunity for individuals to access tools that can allow them to do things that previously would have required a good bit of prompt engineering, right? So we're democratizing the prompt engineering. And you could see here on the GPT store, I just entered a subject that we're kind of talking about today, and then I work with all the time interviewing. And you can see all the different things now that an individual, anybody who can essentially get here and pay for this service is able to take advantage of. And that is a huge game changer just in itself. It's almost like if that's all there was, we would still be super inspired, super powered to do new and different things with our careers and with our daily work and with our art. It's just amazing stuff, right? So what comes next in the evolution? Well, gee whiz, now we have, and I haven't been able to use this because it's still, I think, in a limited release beta, but you can actually now have your different GPTs, like I showed in the store, talk to one another. It's incredible, right? So you can see that we're getting closer and closer to kind of the primitive embryonic virtual assistant here. And one of the really interesting use cases here, which I think is hilarious, is, somebody out there made a Donald Trump GPT, somebody out there made a Biden GPT, and wow, you can have them debate right here. So imagine what that's like for any kind of situation where you want to have one GPT talk to another and do something. We're getting closer and closer to that. And again, becoming more and more democratized, the stuff that you can do. So check this out. Here we have a concept like this really, really resonated to me, right? What's happening now too is instead of large language models being kind of the battleground or the area where everybody is working, we're moving closer and closer to a situation where we're building product, not models, right? And this is again just so indicative of where we're heading. Basically, again, the prompt engineering behind the scenes, that the model building is going away and it's all being incorporated into products. And right now it takes humans to do that. But as we'll see in the next chapter, that's starting to change a little bit too. So it's a slow, slow drip. There's a really, really great, I don't know, I guess thought leader in the UI UX space. His name is Robert Fabricant. I think he used to be an Apple industrial engineer or UX UI engineer, something like that. And he talks about it in terms of our phones and our communication devices. Is that we're getting the releases and upgrades are coming slowly and steadily, and we don't even notice. And they become more and more a part of what we're doing, and we don't even notice. So all these superpowers are becoming democratized, right? And behind the scenes, this is the tech stuff that's happening, but we as adopters, we're just not noticing it as much, right? And I think that's a big part of, again, the reason why prompt engineering skills are going to be overtaken by machines, right? So let's take a look, shall we, at the next chapter, and we'll see where I'm headed with this. All right, chapter 3. What we are talking about here is the next step down the primrose path of prompt engineering being taken over by machines. In this case, it's really just where we are on what I think is the cutting edge, although, over the last couple of weeks while I've been working on on this vlog, things have probably changed even more. But I would like to show a couple of examples of what I feel is some of the more leading edge stuff around the use of large language models that I think is going to continue to reduce the need for human prompt engineers. And of course, if any prompt engineers are actually watching this, they're probably going to throw stuff at me, flame me, do all kind of things like that. Please understand hyperbole here. I'm just speaking about what is eventually going to happen. So just be warned, but no, I'm not talking smack. We need prompt engineers. They're doing fantastic stuff. So I have another video here that I'm going to show. Again, it's using InVideo, one prompt, no editing, and there's some examples of, again, here why we can't just set an AI off without any kind of oversight, because there is one slightly inappropriate image in here. Please understand, I didn't tell it to do that. There's some glitches, and if you keep your eyes peeled, you can see some very creepy robot coworkers. So you're going to enjoy this video a lot and learn at the same time. So I'm excited to show it to you. Here we go.
Envision a future where artificial intelligence governs job interviews. It could completely transform, offering efficiency and impartiality. Let's delve into prompt engineering and its potential to redefine employment interviews. Take, for instance, the multinational firm Tech Corp. They efficiently utilize retrieval augmented generation, RAG, in their recruitment process, ensuring a quicker and more comprehensive selection. Innovate Inc., a tech startup, efficiently used LangChain in their hiring process, vetting, which in turn minimized time and resources spent on initial screenings. HireRight, a recruitment agency, utilizes the embedding technique for job data analysis, enhancing match accuracy, boosting client satisfaction. So, what's the takeaway here? These sophisticated systems showcase the transformative potential of AI in streamlining the employment interview process, from the first screening to candidate assessment and pairing. In essence, employment interviews may radically transform due to the advent of prompt engineering, capable of assessing responses and fitting candidates precisely. The future is here. Let's welcome voiceover. Now, let's delve deeper into how these systems work in the context of employment interviews. RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation, retrieves relevant documents or data to generate a response to a prompt. For instance, during an interview, it can swiftly pull up a candidate's resume or portfolio when asked about their qualifications. Then we have LangChain. It's a system that understands and generates human language. It can formulate job-related questions and evaluate the relevance and coherence of the candidate's responses. Lastly, we have embedding. This technique represents words or phrases as vectors in a multidimensional space. It can scrutinize job descriptions and candidate profiles, making more accurate matches based on the similarity of these vectors. These systems, when used in conjunction, can significantly enhance the efficiency and accuracy of the employment interview process. This is not just an evolution, but a revolution in hiring.
Right, so we see pretty funny stuff there. Let's talk a little bit about some of these leading edge things that are going on now. Retrieval augmented generation is really important. So basically what we're doing here is training the large language model on a corpus of our own information specific to a domain that has been indexed and set up so that only that information is pulled out by the model using the model's relational capabilities to be able to help deliver the information. But it can help put some brackets around or a wall around really the large language model to keep it from throwing in all kind of crazy information. That's really important for enterprise, level implementations and what have you, so that you're able to actually have some control, right? And so this is something that's been going on for a while, but again, some of the more complex use cases still does require prompt engineering, but we'll see that it's going slowly in the opposite direction. So LangChain is something I'm really fascinated with. It's essentially the ability to string together large language models with prompting agents to go out and reach out to different models to pull information in and basically integrate it into one output. So you're essentially able to query something or enter your own prompt or question, and a bunch of things are going on behind the scenes with agents talking to one another and then plopping you a result. So it's simplifying on the surface level, but behind the scenes it's using automation and agents, right? And this is something that, again, is this article is really cool. As I'm trying to learn about it, this is kind of an approachable article where it explains this stuff and even has some prompts and some actual flow of what's going on. So I feel that's really cool. The last thing I want to show in this chapter is a pretty funny video, really, but it's kind of summarizing the state, I would say, again, the cutting edge of where we are as far as I know. Now, in the 3 weeks since I've been working on this vlog, who knows what else has happened. The machines may be one step closer to taking over, but let's check out this video.
Without a doubt, the biggest story in tech over the last 10 days has been autonomous AI agents, and there's a new site called God Mode that allows you to interface with them on the web. Here's what you need to know in 60 seconds. So, the two big ones that emerged have been AutoGPT and Baby AGI, the top two repos on GitHub over the last month. Basically, they use LLMs like GPT-4 to autonomously develop and manage different kinds of tasks. In other words, they don't need you to operate. They're able to tell themselves what to do next without any input from you. So you could essentially deploy intelligent agents to complete tasks for you.
That's literally nuts. Like, yeah, I agree with him. That's pretty much like Jarvis. Like, when you agree, you have an AI that's able to not only take your commands, but be able to go outside of what you asked and give you even more than what you asked for, and continue to dig deeper based off of the one command that it started with. That's nuts.
I agree with that gentleman. It's nuts, and it's only going to get more nuts, and we're going to see all about that in the next chapter. All right, chapter 4. Now we're moving a little bit more into the hypothetical realm, right? I have less concrete things to share here, more out there kind of stuff. The other interesting thing, which isn't really mentioned specifically in the content of this chapter, but we're starting to see now the importance of human skills becoming, paramount as the prompt engineering skills start to become less important, right? So, in other words, as machines take over, human skills are the things that are uniquely human, the traits, characteristics, etc., are going to become more and more important. So, I want to tee this up with a quote by one of my very favorite people to listen to, Mustafa Suleyman, who's the founder of DeepMind and Inflection. He's a real heady guy when it comes to this, and probably thinking 10 years ahead at least. But basically what he's saying is, we're starting to get into a time where artificial intelligence is becoming more and more autonomous, more and more able to do things on its own. Is that scary? Yeah, it sure could be. So I got another one of these goofy videos I'd like to show. Let's go there real quickly and tee up the video.
Imagine a world where human prompt engineering is no longer required. Picture this: the job interview process, entirely designed and executed by autonomous agents. The dawn of a new era, where artificial intelligence takes the helm. In this future, we see a seamless and objective process, untouched by human bias or error, ensuring the best fit for every role. Every question, every response, every decision, all meticulously curated and analyzed by AI. This isn't about replacing humans, but empowering them. By automating these processes, we free up valuable time and resources, allowing us to focus on what we do best: being human, being creative, being innovative. This is not just a vision, but an impending reality. The future of prompt engineering is here, and it's autonomous. Welcome to a world where AI doesn't just assist, but leads the way. So sit back and watch as the future unfolds. A future designed by artificial intelligence for humans. The revolution is here, and it's powered by AI.
Interviewing utopia, right? Perfection. We'll never get another hiring decision wrong once the machines take over, right? Well, what are some of the specific ways this is going to happen? There's the concept of an integrated AI ecosystem, right? Again, love the DALL-E's spelling capabilities are pretty bad. I also like, if you look up there at the top middle of the screen, the flying horse. Maybe in the future, horses will be able to fly like that. That'll be pretty damn cool. So, what I'm getting at here is the agents, the AI agents being able to do more and more for us. And we humans kind of sitting there going, okay, we got to run this stuff before it runs us, right? The next concept, as you kind of continue down the evolutionary path of AI agents, is the autonomous AI ecosystem. And that is, as I was doing the research here, it's a little bit gray area between the autonomous agent and the autonomous ecosystem. It really just means the AI is running more and more on its own. And I found this article to be super interesting. Again, the prophecy of Mustafa Suleyman. But, in his opinion, in 5 years, AI is going to be able to just set up its own corporation, market that corporation and run the thing. So where does that leave us humans? Are we going to have deep fake companies? I don't know. 2029, I don't know, man. I hope this doesn't come through in 2029, to be honest, but you never know. And it's actually somewhat palatable compared to what we're going to look at in the next and final chapter of the evolution of AI, reducing the need for any kind of people to make it happen, or at least prompt engineering anyway. Fifth and final chapter. Here we are dealing with artificial general intelligence, the singularity, job interviews, jobs in general, where they even exist. But I want to share this because I feel like this is where we're headed. Who knows when that'll happen? but I have a really fun, goofy video again to kind of explain a little bit about this and how the rise of human skills is just going to become more and more important. So without further ado, let's take a look at another fun video.
Imagine a world where artificial general intelligence, AGI, and the singularity have been achieved. How would the job interview process evolve in such a scenario? Today, interviews revolve around human skills and interaction, empathy, understanding, compassion, creativity. Yet, in the wake of AGI and the singularity, how might this change? AI thought leader Ray Kurzweil once said, "Machines are getting smarter, but humans will always have a unique ability to understand and empathize." As we stand on the precipice of this technological revolution, it prompts us to question the value and importance of our human skills in the job interview process. In a world dominated by AGI, will jobs as we know them even exist? And if so, how might the job interview process look? Let's envision it. With AGI handling technical aspects, interviews could become conversations, where artificial general intelligence probes not your ability to perform tasks, but your capacity to think creatively, to empathize, to understand, and to connect with others. Picture this. You're not in a sterile office, but in a virtual environment designed to make you comfortable, where an AGI gently guides you through the process. The focus is on who you are as a person, not what you can do as a worker. As AI thought leader Kai-Fu Lee once said, "AI will transform jobs, but human empathy cannot be replicated." So in this future, your creative flair, your compassion, your understanding, these become your greatest assets. While we cannot predict the future with certainty, we can foresee the enduring value of our unique human skills, even in an era dominated by AGI. In the face of AGI, what becomes of the distinctly human elements of the job interview process? Amidst the automation and algorithms, our uniquely human traits, empathy, understanding, compassion, creativity, and interpersonal skills will become even more vital. AGI might be capable of evaluating these attributes in ways we can't yet imagine, yet they will remain an essential part of our value. As we venture into this bold new era, it's clear that our uniquely human traits will continue to play a crucial role, making us not just employable, but indispensable. As we contemplate the rise of AGI and the singularity, a thought-provoking question arises. Could human jobs become obsolete? Theoretically, AGI, with its advanced cognitive capabilities, could outperform humans in most economically valuable work. This could potentially lead to a future where employment interviews as we know them cease to exist, replaced by an entirely new paradigm. Yet, this perspective is not universally accepted. There's an ongoing debate among experts about the extent to which AGI can or should replace human labor. While the future remains uncertain, one fact remains crystal clear. The advent of AGI and the singularity will have profound implications for the world of work. As we navigate these uncharted waters, our ability to adapt and evolve will be put to the test.
So you gotta love text to video. One prompt gets you rock and roll, inappropriate images, holograms, creepy robots, all while making a very important point. It's so funny. So let's take a look just very quickly at the concepts that we're talking about here. Artificial general intelligence, basically meaning that artificial intelligence can act exactly like a human. There's really no difference at all. So that's going to be pretty creepy. We could be talking about replicants. We could be talking about robots. Who knows? But as the video said, who knows if jobs will even exist or how we'll be interviewing in that time. And the next and final stop on the train, hopefully not for humankind, but just in this vlog, is the singularity. And the singularity, I'm going to let this awesome video explain it for us. I think the host can do a lot better job than I. So without further ado, let's call her up.
Singularity, man's last invention. Hey glitches, welcome back to Glitch, your easy insights into bots, big data, and artificial intelligence. Singularity is a hypothesis that the invention of artificial superintelligence will trigger a runaway technological growth, and with this, unfathomable changes to human civilization will occur. Think about the singularity as the moment in time when machine intelligence is greater than human intelligence. That's it. Big names in technology don't think it's a matter of if it will happen, but when. This includes Ray Kurzweil, Stephen Hawking, and Elon Musk. Why do so many technologists and scientists believe this is inevitable? To understand this, think of this Lego piece. Imagine the Lego piece grows by one every day. How long will it take for the Lego piece to fill this entire board? 256 days. That's linear growth. Now, think of this Lego piece, but imagine it is a special technological Lego piece. This one grows by itself every day. How long will it take for Lego to fill this entire board? 9 days. This is how technology is growing. This is how computational power is growing. And because of all this, this is how artificial intelligence is growing. It took about 4.5 billion years for the Earth to form. Then it took 3.5 billion years for the first microorganism, and it took about 200 million years for the first cerebrum, which is the first creature with a brain, and then it took only 200,000 years for the first modern human. The first development of AI was about 60 years ago. Even if we take 100 to 1,000 more years, that's no time at all in the grand scheme of how long it took intelligence to get here. The pattern is, of course, found with other types of computing power to technological advancements. This is what Ray Kurzweil, famous technology futurist, calls the law of accelerating returns. And it's getting harder and harder for humans to keep up. So if machine intelligence is greater than human intelligence, all that means for singularity is that crazy change could occur. Unpredictable change, like the Gutenberg press changed things, the Industrial Revolution changed things, internet changed things. And so an intelligence explosion is going to change things, but in an unfathomable way that we can't predict. Here are 3 things to keep in mind about singularity. Number 1, singularity is predicted to happen around the year 2040 to 2050. This is according to 4 polls that were conducted of AI researchers. 2, not everyone thinks singularity is a bad thing. Some think that it could be a good thing. Ray Kurzweil thinks that these machines will not be separate robots from us. We will merge with this superintelligence into our own brains. 3 is something called the Future of Life Foundation. It includes members like Stephen Hawking, Elon Musk, and it has the mission of safeguarding life in the face of artificial intelligence when the singularity is here. Singularity. The reason why there's a video on this is because it's really important. If people think singularity, where machine intelligence outpaces human intelligence, then we should be prepared for it, and at least we should know about it. So now that you know what singularity is, comment down below and tell me how you might survive the 2045 singularity apocalypse. Can I call it an apocalypse? I'll call it an apocalypse. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.
Love her, love the Lego coffee mug, and the Lego Stephen Hawking is awesome. So as we wrap up here, I just want to reiterate human skills. If humans are left, the skills that make us, the traits that make us uniquely human are going to become more and more important. And hopefully that'll be after I'm dead or retired, because I think I'm not going to like it too much. So you make your own decision. You're a prompt engineer. Get ready to find something else to do with your life, because the machines are coming for you. I'm out.